Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something pretty profound, the art of leaving. It's a powerful idea that mixes ancient wisdom with modern psychology to help us, finally let go of the stuff that holds us back and actually change our lives.
It all starts with a question I think every single one of us has asked at some point, probably when we're feeling a bit frustrated. Why am I like this? You know that feeling? Why do we get stuck in the same loops, the same thoughts, the same situations over and over again?
And that feeling, that sense of being trapped in a cycle, that's a deeply, deeply human struggle. It's this loop of repeating thoughts and circumstances that we just feel totally powerless to break, no matter how hard we might try to change things.
So, to find a way out of this loop, we're going to turn to the work of a really fascinating guide. He operates at this unique crossroads where modern psychology meets ancient spiritual wisdom. His name is Dr. Vineet Dougal.
Now, he isn't just a philosopher talking about abstract ideas. Not at all. He's a highly qualified guide, and his work is really grounded in a deep, practical understanding of how the human mind actually works.
Okay, so what's really interesting here is this unique mix of credentials. I mean, look at this. On one hand, you've got evidence-based Western therapies like CBT and DBT, and on the other, you have these deep Eastern awareness practices like Vipassana and mindfulness. This dual expertise, well, it gives him a really profound perspective on how our minds truly operate. And all of that leads to his core philosophy, which is this. Real, lasting change doesn't come from fighting with ourselves or from trying to fix all our flaws. No, it comes from deeply understanding why we are the way we are in the first place.
So this brings us right to the heart of the solution he proposes. He calls it the art of leaving, or in Hindi, chodna, and it's all about the profound practice of just letting go.
And he illustrates this concept with a brilliant, simple story. So picture this. A man, totally miserable and angry with his life, just runs away. He ends up finding a sage who doesn't try to change him one bit. He just accepts him, exactly as he is. Angry, lazy, all his flaws. For the first time ever, the man feels completely accepted. And through that, he learns to accept himself. When he finally goes back home and accepts his family just as they are, his entire world miraculously changes for the better. So letting go sounds great, but what are we actually supposed to be letting go of? Well, Dr. Dougal teaches that the biggest battle we all need to stop fighting is the one against our own minds, or a specific part of it that he gives a very special name.
He calls this part of our mind Muna. Think of Muna as an old computer program that's just running on autopilot in your head. It's not the real you. It's this almost separate thing that's constantly generating thoughts, fears, desires, and anxieties, all based on old, outdated programming from the past.
And this right here is probably the most important distinction you can ever make. You are not the constant chatter and the emotional reactions of mana. You are the awareness behind it all. You are the calm, silent observer who actually has the power to choose. Trying to argue with Muna or control it or suppress all that mental chatter, it's exhausting, and honestly, it's a losing battle. The real path to peace is so much simpler. Just observe Muna's activity, accept that it's there, and don't get tangled up in all its drama.
Okay, and this is where it gets truly transformative. Something absolutely incredible happens when you stop wasting all your energy on that inner battle. That energy becomes available for creating the life you actually want.
So Dr. Dougal has this fascinating model for how reality works. He suggests that only about 12% of our life circumstances are kind of fixed or predestined by past karma. But the other, massive 88%, that is actively created by us right here and now through the power of our focus and our feelings.
So you see what happens? When you practice chodna, letting go, you surrender the hopeless fight against that 12% you can't change anyway. And that single act of surrender unlocks the immense creative power of the 88%, freeing up all that energy to manifest what you truly desire.
And this leads us to the most practical, most powerful takeaway from this entire framework. How do we actually direct that massive 88% of our energy? What do we do?
So this is where it all comes together in a very practical way. Your reality is a direct reflection of what you consistently feel. Now, you can't control the thoughts that Muna throws at you, but you always have the power to choose where you place your focus. The practice is simple. Observe the negative thoughts, let them go without a fight, and then consciously choose to focus on the feeling of what you want to create.
Ultimately, The art of leaving isn't about giving up at all. It's about a wise redirection of your own power. It's about reclaiming your attention from that pointless inner war and consciously investing it in building the reality you truly want to experience. So the only question left is, where will you choose to spend it?